All right, so between being wrong about my pick last night and the fact that I got in a little bit of an argument with my father, yeah, it's pretty decent low. But my high is actually really good. I mean, we saw the hot sauce lineup reveal yesterday. I'll be talking about that momentarily. Um, Actually, this is actually another part of my high because one of the sites I'm subscribed to on YouTube is About to Eat, which, funny enough, About to Eat is an acronym. When it's spelled like an acronym, it's spelled ATE, like ate, like you ate something. So that's really clever marketing. And they have like one segment of videos called A Day in the Life, where it's really like a day in the life of a restaurateur or, a restaurant owner and, the typical course of how a day goes in, in the dining place, right? Well, they came up with a community post like, if there's anything local you want to do, give us a shout. We'll be happy to check it out. And I'm like, you know what? I'll do peas and macarons. I didn't think it would really garner any attention or anything, but it did. Like, wait, seriously, that really just happened? Cool. All right. So yeah, that was kind of like, the act of kindness was the fact I did that, but just the highlight. Wow, that really happened too. Cool. And here's the funny thing, peas and macarons is the first place to go ahead. Full disclosure, there's a lot of places in my area that are local that are just great. I mean, literally, I could have done Honor Roll, which is just down the street from Peas Macarons. For those of you who don't know, Honor Roll is a sub shop. Get it? On a roll. Honor Roll. Because, a roll of bread, sub. You get the idea. That was a good one. I could have done the Sauce Boss. I could have done the Sauce Boss too. Well, regardless, there's a lot of local places in my hometown that are just great, and I recommend most all of them. I mean, I could have done the Elbow Room, could have done Bernie Murray's, could have Moretti's, could have done Libs. I mean, seriously, I could have ran a veritable gambit. I just chose Peas Macarons because if you ever go to About to Eat's YouTube channel, and I'll put a link in the description down below, some of the food is kind of really fancy and unique, which is just interesting. I mean, yeah, some of this food I technically have had to some capacity, but and also, for the most part, the places that they go visit in a day in the life, and really when they talk about any restaurant, is usually in a big city setting, like New York City or Los Angeles, stuff like that. I don't know why I pronounced Los Angeles like Los Angeles, but I mean, technically both pronunciations are fine. I mean, if you're trying to be authentic, you would say Los Angeles. Again, I did take Spanish in high school, so maybe that's the sort of me taking Spanish side kicking in, So yeah, it's a pretty good time overall. I mean, I will say, hold on, good morning, happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday today. And I will say, even though I'm sad that the Giants lost because I did pick them to win, it was an insane game, man. Last second. In fact, full disclosure, I'm going to, seriously, I'm looking at YouTube right now out of the corner of my eye, and it literally shows the insane last second finish of last night's game. I'm going to go watch it after I'm done here, of course. Business before pleasure. Seriously, I'm just the kind of guy where if I know I have important work to do, or if I know it's something that I'm not going to like to do, I'm let's just get it done first. Let's get it done over with. Let's do the easy stuff or stuff I'm going to find more enjoyable later. Again, business before pleasure. I guess. I mean, seriously, I can't even do something like eat something knowing I have something that I'm not going to like to do later. That's why I really would rather have like myself go to church and then get myself dinner. You don't want to have dinner before you go to church. You'll likely fall asleep if you go to dinner before church. At least I know that's what will happen to me. Anyway, right. Yesterday, First We Feast and Hot Ones unveiled the Season 16 hot sauce lineup. Let's go over some of the important notes. First of all, I did say the classic will be back. I didn't think they'd go back to the garlic Fresno edition, the blue label. I did not see that coming at all. Which, that is actually, I mean, I won't go so far as to say I'm a hot sauce connoisseur, but, you know, sure, I would try any sauce featured on Hot Ones, I would definitely try at least once. I would even try the bomb, actually, just to see how bad it is. And trust me, Sean Evans pointed out yesterday in the video that Elizabeth Olsen said, I don't like it. Like, seriously, I would try it, really. I really am that open. I mean, I literally saw Andrew Zimmern do something similar like that. And again, Andrew Zimmern is one of those, food-related icons who I admittedly, unequivocally, seriously, if Andrew Zimmern has something to say, I completely and unequivocally give him my undivided attention. Seriously, you want a deep thinker in the food world? Andrew Zimmern really has some profound stuff. And yeah, it definitely comes from experiences, be it his own personal experiences or going around the world for shows like Bizarre Foods, which, interesting fact, Andrew Zimmern never really liked the name Bizarre Foods. As he is correct in why. See, he felt that calling it Bizarre Foods kind of does it a disservice. And I can see why. Because calling something bizarre would be something, at best case, best case scenario, you call something bizarre, it's extraordinary in a good way. Worst case scenario, it's something that you don't want to try. And yes, obviously the goal was to lean more towards the former, but more often than not, some people are going to think it's the latter. And yes, you could say they're a little more closed-minded, but again, people are entitled to their own opinion, and that's just how it is. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's talk about Hot Ones. Let's see. There's one sauce on the lineup that has called Bliss and Vinegar, which is strawberry and coconut, and then there's some heat in there, strawberry and coconut. Well, I'd try that. Cool. Maybe it would be because I actually have tried the Dunkin coconut refreshers that one's strawberry. I've tried that before. That was pretty good. Maybe it's like that, but with heat. I would try that. There's one sauce the next sauce is called Hoff's, which I love the description Sean gave it, where it's if you mixed Southern barbecue with, what was the term? With a luau, I think is what it was. I forget the term, but still, it looks really promising. I would try that. The original Los Calientes is back. That's good. They came out with hot heads. That's a fun sauce. Lechuga, I think is what it was called. Hold on, let me look at First We Feast though. First We Feast. Oh yeah, that's another part of my low. For whatever reason, some of the keys on my keyboard don't work, so I had to install this thing. Quick side note. There's a game online called Super Crazy Guitar Maniac Deluxe, and they literally rig it. And the game, you can make it so you can hold your keyboard like a guitar. It's awesome. Anyway, where was I? Hot sauce. Here we are. Darn it, I can't really. Can't really see very well. Shoot. Uh, anyway, the hothead sauce is from Pennsylvania. I remember that. There's actually their first ever sauce from the country of Honduras, which I actually know a little bit about Honduras. Is back when I did my class in session video on Spanish, I mentioned how one of the first things we learned were like all of the names of the Spanish-speaking countries and their capitals. And Honduras is, again, one of those countries that predominantly speaks Spanish. And the capital of Honduras is known as Tegucigalpa. Yes, Tegucigalpa, Honduras. I still remember that after all these years. And, of course, the bomb was brought back. Of course, the bomb. Like, the bomb is, of course, who wasn't going to not expect the bomb to be back? And, of course, they finished it up with the last dab Apollo. And the ninth sauce is it's a familiar brand, seen how it once before referred to as a Hellfire. Remember, if it's the product of a product or a franchise, it's okay to say this. If the curse word is part of the name of a product or a franchise, it's okay to say. So the Hellfire brand, like that's a new one, and it's called Cranked, which, wasn't that the name of like a pretty decent Jason Statham movie? Hold on. Look it up for a second. Let's see. Just Crank. Okay. Never mind. The movie was called Crank, but Cranked is something else. But regardless, it still looks really cool. I definitely, again, seriously, I'm not like a hot sauce connoisseur by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, one person I am subscribed to is known as Hot Sauce Mike. He is far more of an expert than I am. I'll put a link to his channel in the description down below, too. Definitely recommend, you check out his channel. He is infinitely more of a hot sauce expert than I ever hope to be. But, but that doesn't mean, and I will admit, my tolerance is not what it used to be. I mean, I'll be honest, the only hot sauces I really gravitate towards now are stuff you can buy at the store. I'm from Buffalo. I'm from upstate New York. Frank's, we are in Frank's territory. Actually, come to think of it, Trinity, seriously, I never did say this back when I did my Trinity Pauling TP Tales on the dining hall. I think easily the most widely used condiment was Frank's Red Hot. I'm not even kidding. Funny enough, I never really seriously, they would take what their thing was, they'd take ranch and mix that with Frank's. Again, this is well before I was a lot more open to trying new things, so having stuff like ranch or even Frank's Red Hot for that matter, no dice for me. But, come to think of it, I've never actually mixed Frank's Red Hot with ranch before. I should do that at least some. Well, here's the thing. Making a sauce like that is simple, but the real problem is, what do you use it for? What would I put it on? What would I dip into the sauce? I guess the first thing that come to mind would be baby carrots. Seriously, if ever I have ranch, or Hidden Valley Ranch, I'll always dip that's actually a go-to snack I've been gravitating towards a lot, at least over the summer, is baby carrots and dipping them in ranch dressing. That's a good tried and true combination. A little bit of savory from the ranch, a little bit of sweet from the carrots, stuff like that. Actually, growing up, what my mom taught me is get carrots or baby carrots and sprinkle garlic salt on them. That's really good. So, yes, I literally just gave you two uses to have raw carrots. Either dip it in ranch or sprinkle garlic salt on them. So, there's that. Anything else? Actually, that's about it. It was a great game last night. First We Feast unveiled the Season 16 Hot sauce lineup. Today is Friday. I'm going to Rita's today. That's going to be awesome. And Horseheads has their game against the Elmira Express. You better believe I'm going to be there. And so, yeah. I think it's going to be a pretty, there's a little bit of aftermath from the argument that I have with my father, but hopefully that won't be too bad. Anyway, like, favorite, chat, subscribe, and find me on social platforms on YouTube. I'm very humble this video for all you guys watching your for today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Remember, you're going to talk channels. We're here to lend you the back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.